Well, today should be interesting.
Hi! As you can see, conditions are not great, but this is our only chance to film while we're here in Belgrade, Serbia, so we're gonna power through. It's a fight or flight, sink or swim moment, and we are gonna potentially swim. So, let's go.
This vlog's gonna be chaotic. There's already rain droplets on this camera. There we are. The first order of business today is getting to coffee. Normally, the trip to get to coffee, it's never really a problem. A little different today, but I don't care. We're gonna make it. We're gonna do this. Oh!
Oh, no.
Oh! There go my feet already.
Oh.
My shoes are soaked.
We made it. Alright guys, per usual, we're starting off with coffee at a place called KOFFEIN. It's the Danish word for caffeine, which we are in desperate need of right now. And it looks like we just missed the big part of the rain. So, we're game planning on what we're doing next.
Those are big raindrops too.
They're big raindrops.
So most of the vlogs that you'll see on YouTube are gonna be beautiful days in Belgrade, Serbia. That's not what you're gonna get with Probably Lost. We are going to film in the pouring rain, which means no crowds, no body, or us trying to swim out of this nonsense. But that's what you're gonna get in this vlog. I don't know what's gonna happen. We might go completely to plan. But either way, we're gonna show you what we do, and it's gonna be interesting.
All right.
Here we go. What are those waterproof shoes that I keep getting targeted for? We need these.
One of the first things that you're gonna do when you get to Belgrade is to walk down, or at least through, a main thoroughfare called KNEZ MIHAILOVA Street. Now, if I butchered that, I apologize. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure you will if I butchered that. It is one of the main pedestrian zone here in Belgrade, and it's one of the historical landmarks in the city. It's one of the oldest areas of the city, and it's protected by the country of Serbia. So this is, without question, one of the more important areas, and there's no shortage of shopping, restaurants, museums. There's all kinds of stuff to see and do over here, and it runs from KALEMEGDAN Park all the way down to Republic Square.
Now, if you're like us, you love walking through parks, and there's nothing better than a huge park inside of a bigger city. Insert KALEMEGDAN Park. What makes this park super unique is it sits right on the corner overlooking the point where the SAVA River and the Danube River meet. It's pretty huge, so you can spend most of an entire day here exploring the monuments, landmarks, as well as the zoo that sits in the area.
Guys, I gotta be honest with you, it's not raining anymore, really. But this is really nice because we have the park all to ourselves. We've seen probably 2 people here the entire time we've been walking around. Granted, it is like a weekday, but this is awesome. I mean, we need to film more. We need to film more on rainy days. Just give us a pair of boots and we'll just film in the rain. Now, if we stopped at every landmark or monument here in the park, this vlog would be no less than an hour, but we had to show you the Victor Monument. Now, if you look at him, is there anything alarming that catches your eye? That's right, he has an eagle in the palm of his hand, which in the real world may be a bit painful without gloves with the eagle's talons. But thankfully, he's just a naked man statue and he can't feel pain. On a serious note though, the Victor Monument was erected back in 1928 to commemorate Serbia's victory over the Ottoman and Austro-Hungarian empires during the Balkan Wars and the First World War. It's one of the most visited landmarks in Belgrade and obviously one of the most recognizable. This whole big complex area is what's known as the Belgrade Fortress. It sits right next to KALEMEGDAN Park. And I'm not totally sure if KALEMEGDAN Park is inside Belgrade Fortress or if Belgrade Fortress is inside KALEMEGDAN Park. If you know, get down in the comments and provide a little bit of clarity because I was seeing some contrasting reports. But either way, this is probably the most historical part of the city because it dates back to 279 BC. This was built on the confluence of the 2 rivers, which gave it a very strategic position with regard to trade and defense. Entry into the medieval fortress is free, and because of this, it's estimated that it gets over 2 million visitors every year, making it the most visited tourist attraction in Belgrade. So our plan was to go down to the Belgrade waterfront for lunch to eat at one of the little food stands, but unfortunately it's been raining and it's kind of out of the way, so we're going to bypass that and just grab something quick before going to our next stop. But we wanted to point out the riverfront. On the west side of the bank, you will find all of the floating
bars and stuff, and that is by far some of the best nightlife that you're gonna find in Europe. On the east side of the bank, you're gonna find Belgrade Waterfront. That is a new complex of buildings, a lot residential. There's some new restaurants. It's just a cool little area to go and hang out and explore. We've gone down there a couple times, and we honestly kind of liked it. I'm rambling, let's go.
We're running around a little bit, but we managed to stop at a bakery. We got the ŠEŠIRA, and Trey got the Burek. And it was less than $2 for both of these. So we got a cheap local lunch, and now we're running to our next stop.
So when you think of famous Serbians, there are two that probably come to mind. There's Novak Djokovic and there's Nikola Tesla. Now the Joker's still dominating the tennis world, so he doesn't have a museum for him yet, but Nikola Tesla does. So due to COVID, they can only have like 50 people inside the exhibition at a time, so there's kind of a long line outside, so we're gonna give it a little bit and see if we can try to get in. Up next is the biggest and most beautiful church, in my opinion, in Belgrade. It's easily the most recognizable. It's called the Saint Sava Temple, and yes, it is named after Saint Sava. Saint Sava founded the Serbian Orthodox Church during medieval times and is near the top of the list of the most important Serbians in their history. The temple's absolutely huge in size and officially opened in 1935. It's the largest Serbian Orthodox church, the largest Orthodox place of worship in the Balkans, and one of the largest Orthodox churches in the entire world.
Lucky for us, it stopped raining. Unlucky for us, our next stop isn't for a few hours, so we'll see you in a second.
All right, we are back and we're headed to dinner. We planned to go back to the Nikola Tesla Museum, but unfortunately, it was like a 35-minute walk from where we were staying, and we still gotta get home and pack because we're leaving tomorrow. We're gonna take you along to dinner, one of the most popular areas of town, to one of the cooler restaurants for Serbian food that you'll find.
Since Belgrade is the only city in Serbia we're visiting, we figured there's no better way to end our time here than with traditional Serbian food. We don't have a reservation, and it looks like we're not the only ones that had this idea for dinner. So we'll see if we get in. First up, we got the traditional pie. I don't know what that means, but it comes with cheese, so it can't be bad.
It's good, but it's different from what Hannah got for lunch. I thought it was the same thing.
So we initially planned on getting this as an appetizer and then getting chavapi for dinner, but our server came over and he was like, hey, you pay now, I can go home. I respect that so much. Just the straight up candor, like, hey dude, can you please just close out so that I can go home and end my day? We're gonna end the dinner right here and we're gonna go explore a little bit more.
One really cool thing about this area of SKADARLIJA is all of these restaurants have like live music. So they have guys walking around, they're like a 5-6 piece band, and they walk around and sing and all that stuff, and it's cool. Every little restaurant has their own band though.
Alright guys, this vlog has not gone to plan at all. But you know, that just happens sometimes, and it wasn't like any of the restaurants down there weren't cool. We're just kind of full at this point. The next time you'll see us, we'll be heading to Zagreb, but we're not actually filming there. We've already filmed there, so go check out that vlog. But also, we're taking some time to get caught up on vlogs so that you are traveling in real time with us, and we can't wait.
That's what sets us apart. We go out here when people don't want to vlog, mostly because we don't have a choice, but